Welcome to Basketball Heads Live. I'm your host, Glenn Pooh Harding. Tonight, we have PND Nation, better known as the Positive Direction Organization. The first part of our show, our guest deals with our health because I have a few friends and relatives who deals with this disease called lupus. We have the lupus ambassador in the house tonight. The second part of our show, we will talk basketball with the Positive Direction Director with coaching experience going back over 30 years. These women help countless young people throughout New York City while having a major impact on their lives. Without further ado, help me welcome to the show Lupus Ambassador Karen Miller and Executive Director JoAnn Pinnock.
Y'all ready? Yeah. You have just stepped out into the world of chaos, where everybody goes hard. Come on. Go hard. Get online, buy your tickets, cause the game about to start.
What's happening, Karen?
How you doing tonight? Good evening. How's everything?
I'm doing well.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you for having me.
Yes. I've been checking out your Instagram, seeing what you've been doing with the kids in the community, the fundraisers you've been doing and giving for this important drive that you've been doing, right? This important mission that you've been on,
right,
to help conquer and cure the disease called lupus.
Right.
Trust me, I have close friends, relatives that deal with that disease. And the people don't know, T-Boz still deal with that disease, and a late great prodigy from Mobb Deep, passed away from it. So we just want to keep spreading the message. I'm glad we can do this on our forum tonight. So welcome.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Definitely. And look, you're a basketball head too. So trust me, I've been on your live and checking you out. So you're definitely a fishy basketball head. So definitely.
For sure.
Yeah. So, what I usually like to ask my guests when they come on the show is, who introduced you to the game?
That's a great question because as a little girl, I've always loved basketball. And I try to reflect back to think who did or what did. And I can't really pinpoint it, but I do know that I was always a Michael Jordan fan, sitting on the floor with my brother watching the Chicago Bulls. And I just always loved the game.
Mike, excuse me for a sec. Mike had an impact on us all. Trust me. Mike had an impact on us all. And Victoria Montel said the same thing as well. So.
Right.
That's right. And especially after that Last Dance, even young people now know who Michael Jordan is.
I thought that Last Dance documentary was phenomenal.
Yes, definitely. So where are you from?
I'm from Hollis, Queens.
Nice. Look, my guy in the back already shouted out. My guy, Jamel Powell, our resident artist.
Okay. How you doing, Jamel?
Yes. He knows about the program. Yes.
Okay.
Hollis, Queens, for sure. Home of Run DMC.
That's right. And LL Cool J.
And LL, that's right. Can't forget the GOAT.
Yes.
All right, so give us, our audience, a little background on yourself.
My name is Karen Miller. I coach with the CYO program out of Flushing. Mayor's Nativity programs merged together. I coach with Positive Direction as well. I'm a mother of a 23-year-old daughter. I have to first say that first and foremost.
Salute.
And I became a lupus ambassador with the Lupus Foundation of America pretty soon after I was diagnosed.
Definitely. So you took charge of this head on.
So you know what? I'd like to say that. I'd like to think that, but I don't know if that's necessarily how it happened.
Okay.
when I was diagnosed with lupus, I only knew one person that had it. So I immediately reached out. And my thing was to get my daughter tested, because for me, I felt like, as a mom, I'll fight through whatever, I'll deal with whatever, but I know that it can also be hereditary and genetic. So I wanted to make sure she didn't have it. And I wasn't really surprised about the diagnosis, because my rheumatologist gave me a heads up. She first diagnosed me with another autoimmune disease called Sjogren's syndrome, which
Right.
you may have heard Serena Williams,
Yeah.
Venus has it. And so she told me to watch out for lupus. And so when I started doing my research, I realized that I had been having signs and symptoms for many years back. I just wasn't aware of it and educated about it. So it didn't really come as a surprise. And so she did tell me to get educated. And I feel that being educated and connecting with other lupus warriors within the Lupus Foundation really made the journey a little bit more easier, right? So I think it's definitely important to be educated and to take control and to connect with people. A lot of people, when they're diagnosed with illnesses, keep it to themselves. They don't talk about it. And I respect that and I understand that. However, the more that you share with people and you understand you're not the only one going through it, support is extremely important. And you learn, with lupus, a lot of people aren't aware of what it is, what it does. And to be quite frank, doctors are not testing people enough for it, because it's lupus. They're hearing someone died from a heart attack, a stroke, kidney failure, not realizing that the underlying cause was lupus. And so that's why I feel it's really important to share, to educate, and to connect. Embarrassing. And so people aren't that willing to speak up about it, and it affects you in the workplace. If you're telling someone you have an autoimmune condition, they don't know anything about it, there's no cure for it, they're wondering, will you be able to perform your duties? Is this someone that we should promote? Is this person going to always be sick? And there's a misconception too that people can catch lupus and it's not contagious.
Wow. And he just informed me on some things as well. And I knew people couldn't catch it, but definitely far as the doctors testing for it, or not testing for it, lack thereof. And I think they should, especially that people, it kind of sneaks up on people and people don't know, right?
Right.
It kind of sneaks up on you.
No, you're absolutely right. And the big problem with lupus is that it sneaks up on people. And by the time you have a diagnosis, you have so much damage that it's already done to your organs, whether it's your brain, your heart, your lungs, your kidney, your skin, your joints. And you're on a ton of medication now to try to fix that. And there's no repairing and going back. It's maintenance, because, there's no cure for it. But if you're ignoring certain signs and symptoms and you're not aware of what this disease is, how would you possibly know? And another thing that I think is really key, and a message that I like to get out, is going to the doctor, going to get checked, going to have your annual physical, and really speaking up and saying what you're struggling with, how you're truly feeling. Because I find people go to the doctor, they're intimidated by doctors, and they don't say what's happening. And they just listen to what the doctor's saying. Okay, you're going to take this medication, and you're not researching and following your signs and symptoms. How am I reacting to this? How do I feel? And really communicating with your doctors. And with lupus, you're not just going to one doctor, which is what people don't realize. I have a cardiologist, I have a rheumatologist, I have a dermatologist, I have an oncologist, and this goes on, because when lupus starts to affect different organs, you need a specialist for each of those ailments. But some people will just say, okay, I have lupus, I'm seeing one doctor, I'm on this medication, and not realizing you should really take that chest pain seriously, because the lupus could be attacking your heart. You should take those test results seriously, where it's showing that the protein in your urine is high, or the joint pain, or you feeling dizzy, or, all of these different symptoms. Like, we really need to pay attention to our bodies and take our health very seriously.
True indeed. True indeed. So what can people do to help with some of the symptoms?
So the complicated thing about lupus is no two cases are exactly the same. People may have similar symptoms, but they're very different. The baseline drug that people, the rheumatologists want people to be on is hydroxychloroquine, which has been in the news so much now because of COVID. Not everyone agrees with that medication as far as your body, taking it. And you need a baseline vision test because it can cause you to go blind. A certain percentage of people it's happened to. A lot of people are on steroids, which steroids are a gift and a curse, prednisone in particular. You're in a lupus flare, they're trying to get your inflammation levels down. So they'll put you on prednisone to try to manage it. But unfortunately, some people are so far gone that they take prednisone every day. Some people are on dialysis, they have kidney failure. It really varies. For me, I was put on bed rest when I was initially diagnosed because I had lesions on my legs. It affected my skin because of sun exposure, and put on a very strong medication, which I realized affected my stomach, and then it threw my thyroid levels off. And I had a conversation with my doctor, like, okay, I'm on this medication. I definitely want to get better and get through this flare, but I never had an issue with my thyroid. So let's try to see when I taper off, revisit where my levels are and see what's going on. She didn't actually agree with me, and she said, no, I think you're going to need to be on this medication for the rest of your life. I really like to be proactive. I like to educate myself. And fortunately for me, I was correct. It was the medication that was causing a side effect for my thyroid levels. So I was able to get off of that medication. And then I started doing research about alternative supplements that I can be on. And my cardiologist has been phenomenal as far as really opening up and sharing with me what he suggests. So I'm big into taking turmeric, CoQ10, MSM, and I really have this conversation with them because I don't respond well to the medications. No one wants to be on medication. Obviously, if I have to, then I will do it. But I'd much rather try to stay off of it for as long as possible, because as we all know, medication can do a lot of harm. Yeah, it's great, it helps us stay alive, but it can do a lot of long-term damage. And I was just, my thought process was, if I start this medication now, down the road, what's going to happen? Am I going to lose my vision? Am I going to be on 10 other medications? And so I try my best to stay off of it. And it's important to communicate with your doctors and have those conversations and monitor your blood levels, monitor your dosage, and really be involved in it.
What about your diet?
So diet.
How important is that?
It's funny because my rheumatologist, we had the conversation about that because I talked to her about going vegan, and I actually had done that for a period of time, and she wasn't convinced that it would make a difference. But a lot of people that I've connected with, and even myself, I do know that diet does affect your inflammation levels. And with lupus, you really need to stay healthy and active, and it's challenging at times, don't get me wrong, because some days the fatigue is just unbelievable to even get out of bed, to open up a bottle of water, like, stirring a pot. Those are some of the day challenges that you don't really hear about. But for me, what I found, I like to think that I found a pretty good balance. And it's not to say that I don't have any damage, because I do. But for me, staying active, getting out, doing the things that I love to do helps to keep me going, because it does affect your mental as well.
Definitely. I just, in general, I think watching what you eat and eating the right foods, especially very high alkaline foods.
Absolutely.
Drinking lots of water. I was listening to John Sally speak the other day. He was on Fat Man Scoop Show, and he challenges everyone to eat vegan for a week. And just slowly. And look, I do it sparingly. I go a week where I don't eat any meat. I juice a lot, drink a lot of water, eat a lot of greens and fruits. I don't eat pork. I don't eat beef. I rarely eat chicken. I eat a lot of turkey. Me and my guy, we suckers for turkey burgers. So every now and again, we get those turkey burgers rocking.
Right.
But for the most part, it's just a lot of greens, fruits, and water, and pineapple juice, which I love.
So I'm not vegan right now. However, I did find that when I felt better, and I do think that diet does play a big part in how you feel just in general, whether you have lupus.
Right.
Like, I love sugar. I'll be the first to admit, but sugar definitely promotes inflammation in the body, and it's not good for us. So, I like to think everything in moderation, and everybody's body is designed differently. So what I may need, you may not need. I may be lacking vitamin D because I'm not in the sun too much. I might need, a extra vitamin supplement because I'm not getting enough of it in my diet. And with lupus, I might need a little bit more because of what I'm going through. So, I really think that people should be heavily involved in finding out what your body needs and getting tested, getting your vitamin D level tested, having your blood pressure checked. Like, all of these things are really important. And we know that eating fried foods every day is not good, and eating cakes and cookies and pies, but it's we love the way it tastes.
It's good, right? Right. Yeah.
It's great. But and then being physically active too. There's a misconception that skinny people are healthy and they don't have any health issues, and it's like, no, that's not necessarily true. I'm not on prednisone right now, but I have a lot of my fellow lupus warriors who are on prednisone, and it causes them to gain a lot of weight, and they're physically active, but it'll cause like their face to look like moon shaped, and it's difficult for them to be active. But being active to me is extremely important. Getting your joints moving, your heart going, that's extremely important. That's whether you have lupus or not.
Wow. That's very, very informative. Yes. What's up, Callie? See my man Callie's in the building. Say who else is in the building. What up, Tom? Coach Montos, how you doing? Great interview last night. My guy, Eric Hicks in the building. Mr. Robinson, what's up, my guy? Yeah. My teammate in college, Tony Robinson's in the building. So how did you get down positive direction?
So I got into positive. My brother, who's on here, Tony, he started first coaching with Positive Direction. And I was around the program. My niece was playing with the program. My nephew started joining. And Coach JoAnn, who will be coming up next, she approached me because she knew that I coached CYO and was always at the games and very enthusiastic about coaching and being around kids. And so she asked me to be a part of it. And I was honored and humble. And now PD Nation is like my family. The support from my basketball family has been tremendous. And to be able to coach a sport that I truly love, to be able to be around kids that motivate me to keep me going, and to have such a tight-knit bond has been tremendous for me. Like, I can't even put a price tag on it. About 2 years ago, Coach JoAnn put on a one-day tournament, a basketball tournament for lupus awareness. I was having a walk. I've been doing the walks. I didn't realize it popped up on my Facebook page for a number of years now. And that meant so much to me, to see everyone come out and support, and, the kids with the purple t-shirts, the purple is the color for lupus. And finding out how many other parents were affected by this. One of our coaches, his sister died from lupus. And just that one day was just extremely powerful. And I can't stress enough how much my PD Nation family supports me. And I don't want to catch any flack. My CYO basketball family, I got to give a shout out to them, because once I joined PD Nation, they were like, well, what's up with us now? But I'm so thankful to be a part of the program. The support from them has been tremendous. And I can't thank them enough for just welcoming me and encouraging me, and just being there. Like, being around kids has always been a joy for me. But seeing these kids like develop over the year, and start making baskets and using their left hand and playing defense, and like, when I'm at a game or when I'm with the kids, like, I'm not thinking about anything else. Like, I'm all in. And that's one of our hashtags. But I just love it. And that helps to keep me going.
Listen, when I asked you that question, your face just lit up, right? So I know how much fun and how much enjoyment those kids are bringing you, because I saw your face light up. So let's make some noise for PND Nation. That's right. That's right. That's right. For sure. Yeah. So, did you play sports coming up?
You know, I'm thankful that my other brother and my sister aren't on here because they can't stand when I give this answer, right? So to answer your question, I did not. And the reason is because I was an older sister growing up with two other siblings in the household that I was growing up in. And I wanted to badly. I mean, there was only one other girl on my block that liked basketball. And love the game. But, you know, back in the days, I had to go pick up my brother and sister from school. And I resented it so much because I'm like, I can't play sports. I can't get involved in activities because I got to watch them. I didn't have kids. So they hate when I tell that story. But so, no, I did not. You know, we had a youth group at the church that I belonged to, and we would play recreational basketball there, but I wasn't able to. However, I'm proud to say that my younger brother, and he does credit me for him playing basketball. He played at the D2 level because he just knew how much I loved the game. And I guess he figured, well, dang, I got to make it up to you some way since it was because of me that you could play. But, yeah.
What's your brother's name? Give him a shout out.
My brother Wayne Ennis. He's not on. He's at work right now. But, yeah, he'll definitely probably.
Salute Wayne. Definitely.
He'll probably have my head later for that.
So, do you have any other functions in positive direction besides being a coach?
So, my PD Nation family will tell you there's no function of just being a coach in PD Nation. Like,
Gotcha.
You know, I coach with 3 teams with PD. We have a basketball academy it's like a farm league. We run tournaments out of the home gym. So you don't.
Hold on. First, tell me about the farm league first of all, and we can move on to the other thing.
Okay, so the farm league is really a basketball academy for the younger kids that are just learning. So it's a developmental program. So
Gotcha.
I help out with that too. And PD's a family. So wherever there needs help, you help in and you step in and you do whatever needs to be done. So I never consider myself just a coach. I consider myself a coach. I consider myself a mentor to a lot of these younger kids. I consider myself a sister to the other staff members, a sister to the other coaches. So that's why I can't just say I'm just a coach with PD. Like that. When I tell you that's my family, that is my family. I love them. I love them, and I love the program. And shout out to Coach Joe, who I know is coming up next. Like, when you asked me about being on the show, she has done such a phenomenal job with her program. And, coming full circle, one of the coaches that used to coach with the program, he used to try to recruit my daughter. My daughter actually could shoot the ball really well, but basketball wasn't for her. And I remember, like, when she was younger, fundraisers, and I would see, PD, Positive Direction, and always support the fundraisers, but wasn't actually directly involved because my daughter was playing volleyball and softball and wasn't into it like that. But it's amazing how things come full circle that now I'm coaching with the program and, have known about it for years and just love being there.
My guy Cass says, I sponsor one of our NDP junior high school kids in their program every summer.
Oh,
wow. Yeah, it's one of my coaches at our junior high school Yes.
For that. That's phenomenal. I wish that we had more people that would do that for the kids. The kids definitely need and they benefit from the program.
Salute to you, Big Cass. For sure. Okay, so JoAnn, Miss Pinnock, let me tell you something. When I reached out to Karen, she was like, listen, I can't go on your show. I can, but I would like to send JoAnn Pinnock, the head of our program, on the show. I was like, wow, that's very big, right? Because usually people who I reach out to, they jump on it. But you didn't turn me down. You wanted to put JoAnn and give her flowers, right? And make sure that she's recognized, which is only right.
Absolutely.
So, with saying that, I'm going to say my guy, Jamel Powell, when I sent out the pictures for it to get done, I sent out 2 pictures of you instead of 1 apiece.
Okay.
So he's going to make sure that Miss Pinnock's picture gets done, and we make sure that both of you guys get it at the same time.
We appreciate that. That's no problem.
Cool. All right?
Yes.
All right, so let's talk a little basketball real quick before we bring her on.
Okay.
I heard you talking about the championship and the playoffs the other night. Who was you rooting for?
So I always tell people that my relationship with NBA basketball is a little complicated. Okay. So
very true. Very true.
I'm a huge LeBron fan, and I can't get into the who's the GOAT. You know, is he better than Jordan? And you know, all those discussions. I respect his game, and so I was definitely rooting for him. I was rooting for LeBron. I'm not a Lakers fan, but I'm a LeBron fan. So, you know, my brother, he's you know, holding his head. Where LeBron goes, I go. And I respect him on a different level. So a lot of people watch the game and they're interested and oohed and ah by offensive players. That's right. I get it. You got to put the ball in the basket to win games. I love defense. I love great passing ability. I love, you know, high basketball IQ, and more than anything, team chemistry and making your players better around you. And that's why I love LeBron and was rooting for LeBron to get the ring. Not that he's going to get any more respect from all of his haters, because, you know, that's just not going to change. But I was definitely rooting for LeBron.
Okay. All right. All right. No, I love LeBron. I love LeBron more off the court than on the court, even though I think he's an amazing player.
Right.
And salute to them and whatever they accomplished. But them guys had like 2 starting fives in that one team.
So you know what?
You know, they always need help. You always need help. You always need help.
You know what?
And my guy usually doesn't say anything.
I might have to have a show with him on there. We'll have that discussion. Credit the NBA and LeBron James. But I would be so remiss if I didn't give a shout out to the WNBA players, because as a little girl, when the WNBA started, I mean, I was like head over heels, super proud then, and even super proud now, because they don't get as much credit as they deserve. And so I don't know how many people on here were watching the playoffs with the WNBA players, but phenomenal. Like, those ladies play hard. Brianna Stewart,
yes.
Amazing, coming off an injury. Like, they really deserve a lot more credit than they get to. So, you know, not to take it back off the NBA, but you know, I gotta shout out.
No. And salute our New York players, Epiphany Prince and Sue Hicks. You know, definitely salute Absolutely. All day.
Yes, for sure.
Definitely want to get them on the show for sure and celebrate them.
Yes.
Been solid. Okay, no drama. Okay. So we've been watching LBJ since he was 15 years old. He's been solid, no drama the entire time. Very true, Cass. Listen, when a lot of kids, I watch a lot of phenoms come up, and a lot of them don't live up to that greatness, to what everybody else think they should live up to. Now, you got to seek it within yourself, because it's very hard to do.
Absolutely.
Right? A lot of people are selected, but only a few are chosen.
Yes. Yep.
Right? And LeBron knew he was the chosen one, and they was going to be watching him every step of the way.
Right.
So, you know, salute to everything he had to deal with.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay. Top 5 players that come out of New York City.
Ooh. I wasn't expecting that question.
Hey, you got it. You pass this exam, you're gonna graduate a basketball head, or official basketball head.
So, you know, it's on my heart to give a shout out to Coach Dave Edwards. Okay.
Yes, yes, salute, an RIP, yes.
And you know, Coach Dave coached with our program, and we were all very close. And so when you just say New York basketball, that's the first person that comes to my head. That's the first person that's on my heart, and I can't even think of anybody else right now except for him, because I miss him so much, and he meant so much to everyone in our program. And I know there's great players out of New York, but we miss Coach Dave. And that's my favorite player out of New York, period.
Got you. But we're not gonna let you off the hook so soon. Okay? Somebody help her out in the room. Top 5 New York City players of all time.
So you still want me to answer? Top 5 basketball players out of New York City, male or female?
Both. It don't make a difference.
Man. I guess my time is up, huh?
Look, read on the screen. Come on now. People trying to remind you. These people from Queens.
Well, of course, Kenny Anderson. I mean, like, he's definitely top 5. I mean, Epiphany Prince is a legend from New York.
Yes, yeah.
You know, I'm thinking right now and not necessarily then. I can't really choose. Like, so I wasn't a Steph Murray fan. Please don't, you know, but
You said who? You said who? You said Steph Marbury?
Yes, I'm reading here. Tina Charles, Steph Marbury, Epiphany Prince,
See?
Anderson.
Your people, this is what I'm saying. The PNB Nation. This is what we all about. Yes.
They have my back. They have my back.
That's what I wanted to see. There you go.
They have my back.
Salute. Well, I definitely had some fun with you, Karen.
Yes.
And thank you for being on the show. Thank you for all the information.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you.
Yes. For sure. Let me see how long. How's he come? All right. I'll give you a sneak peek.
Okay.
I'll give you a sneak peek. All right, and then yeah, we could do that. Y'all ready?
Oh wow! Wow! I love it. Wow, he's really talented. Thank you for making me look that good. Thank you. I love it.
Yes.
He's talented. I really appreciate that. I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, and he's a Queens guy. He went to Jackson. He played for the late great Coach Granby.
Oh, okay. He's a Jackson. I went to Springfield Lawrence High School.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I hope Coach Pinnock is on the line and ready to go.
I'm sure.
Thank you, Karen.
No problem. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Yeah. Yeah. Welcome to the show, Coach JoAnn Pinnock. How you doing? I'm doing well in yourself. Yes, doing well. We just had Miss Caramel on the show, one of your coaches, and like I said before, when I first invited her on, the first thing she said was, Mr. Glenn, I respect you showing what you're doing, but you have to get JoAnn Pinnock on the show first. And I was like, wow, I definitely saluted that. And I want to get to know some of the great things that you've been doing for over the past 30 years.
Well, first of all, Karen is a tremendous woman. And that's what we really, strive for at Positive Direction, to get good people around our next generation. And she is incredible. I know she spoke a lot about the lupus, and she does a lot of good work for them. But, she's somebody that day in and day out, no matter how she's feeling, gives herself to our student athletes. And PD Nation would not be the same without her. So, you know,
awesome.
I have to make sure that we understand that, you know, she's definitely somebody that that every program needs, not just our program, but every program.
Well, for her to make sure that, you know, you get your shine as well, that means that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing as a leader, right? To make sure that everybody is following those same guidelines and that model for these young kids. So salute to you and what you do.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. So first question of the night. Who introduced you to the game of basketball?
My dad. We are a basketball family, but my dad introduced us to the sport. He encouraged us, so did my mom, to do something. It didn't always have to be basketball, but it had to be something, a sport, instrument, musician, anything.
Okay, can you bring the phone down just a little bit more, please? There you go, there you go.
Good?
There you go, perfect, perfect. So where did you grow up in New York City?
Queens Village.
Queens, number Queens. Queens represent.
Shadyville.
Got a Queens guy in here, my guy, President Jamel Powell.
So yeah, Queens Village. Myself and my two brothers, we played CYO growing up. We came up through CYO. Not AAU. We were at the park. You know, we're a bit up there, so we were more in the parks. And then we all found our way and made our way into coaching. So we're definitely a basketball family, and now it's going down to our kids.
Right. Listen, I think more players were made in the parks and CYO leagues than AAU in New York City.
Absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
I think once we go up to play AAU, we already known and got our name and just make it big out there. But we definitely get our reputation playing in the park and summer leagues here in New York City.
Absolutely.
So CYO was like the first team that you were on.
Yep. So CYO, I guess I was in like third grade, and you know, but played at Our Lady of Lourdes, and we all got our foundation there. My dad was involved. You know, he either was coaching or doing the door, and you know, your typical typical Sunday afternoon. And then I made my way to Mary Lewis Academy, which is where I coach now. So I coach at my alma mater, and I played there. And then I didn't play in college.
All right, cool. Let's slow down. So let's talk about that time in high school now.
All right, we could talk about it, but it was like let's see the big names that you know. It was like the Jill Cook era. So when we played Christ the King, maybe we scored 10 points. I'm not gonna lie.
Keep it 100. That's what we do on basketball heads. Yes.
It was definitely a time from the past, not a time that we want to bring up. I'd rather talk about, you know, the present. Mary Lewis.
That kind of said it all.
Yeah, Mary Lewis was a academic school. It still is, but we've gotten a lot better on the basketball side. So
well, look, it's more about the journey, right? And I tell people, you know, some people are afraid to come on the show because they feel like they didn't accomplish more than somebody else who was on the show. And I say, look, everybody's journey is different, right? What basketball teaches us at a young age is how to get along with people, how to play with a team, right? Builds our confidence, and it can do a lot of other things socially to help us develop as people. So with saying that, with you being a basketball head, it doesn't mean how many wins or losses you have, or how many trophies, or how many All-American honors.
Oh no, but it definitely taught me. It definitely taught me that I did not like to lose. It definitely taught me.
See? Right, and that's in anything. That's in anything, right? That's good. That's good. And did you play all 4 years?
Yes.
Now look, not too many people can say that.
Oh,
I know people. I know guys who played in the NBA who've been on here.
And maybe Lewis can say that.
Right. Listen, it doesn't make a difference now. I'm telling you, it's people that played at high caliber schools that had to play freshman, JV, they can climb their way up. So I always give those people props who kind of made it, started playing, you know, varsity or made the team their 9th grade year, because not too many people can say that. Definitely. So when you was coming up, who was the best player in your neighborhood?
Not in my neighborhood, but there were really good girls out there. Like I said, Jill Cook, Margaret McKeon. There was girls that were okay too at Mary Lewis. Actually, one of the better players that was at Mary Lewis, now her daughter actually plays for me at Mary Lewis. So, you know, it was a different time. I think that fundamentally, we were better, but athletically, obviously, the athleticism has gotten a lot better.
Oh man, let me tell you, I coached girls for the first time a couple of weeks ago, and it was such an amazing experience. Because like you said, I remember girls playing back in the days and they fundamentally sound, but now these girls got game.
Yeah.
Like you see them do some things and I'm saying, whoa, this 14 and 15-year-old girl doing this? How they pay attention to detail, right? And all those little nuances that we used to kind of beating into guys, like, come on, do this, and yelling and screaming. You tell us to a girl and it's kind of done.
Correct.
So that was my experience, and it was an eye-opening experience, and I keep saying this because now I'm paying more attention to girls basketball more than I ever did. And I just think it's important. So what made you get into coaching, and how long have you been coaching?
So I started coaching when I was about 19, 17, 18. I started assisting Ronnie Lassise, who, rest in peace, he was one of my first coaches from Our Lady of Lourdes, and Ronnie back in the day was big into girls basketball. So he really got me started. I actually coached with the Liberty Bells as his assistant coach, which was a big AAU team back then, out of Christ the King High School. And then I just decided that, you know, I'm gonna take this. I like this. You know, I like doing it. And then I took a CYO team over at Our Lady of Lourdes. And then I guess when I was about 20, I made my way over to St. Clair's, which is where I've been ever since. And 2021 will mark 30 years that I'm at St. Clair's with my program. I started Positive Direction in 1991. So it just started off as something that had like 2 teams. It was boys teams. I don't know if anybody remembers the names Daryl Boykins. And
I remember that program started in the 90s.
Daryl went to McClancy. So those were the first group of boys, and I actually coached boys for a year, 2 years, 3 years around there. And then I started our girls program, and it's been a great journey. I love doing it. Obviously there's days that you wake up and you know, you say, you know, why am I still doing this? And then by the end of the day, you remember why you're still doing it. I truly am passionate about the program that I run, what the name stands for, and how many young people it can impact. So, you know, it's just something that I love doing.
How did you get it started, and what made you come up with the idea?
It just started with, like, you know, two teams that were CYO teams. And then around that time was when, like, the AAU kind of started really to pick up, and kids didn't want to just stop playing in February or March when CYO ended. I mean, the trend back before that was, you know, kids would play CYO basketball, and then they would play CYO baseball or CYO softball, and then they would play, you know, whatever, track, you know, CYO. It was always CYO. So one sport ended and then the other sport picked up, and then that kind of faded out, and kids wanted to play year-round basketball. So that's really where we picked up. My big thing with Positive Direction was that I did not want it to be just for the kids that could play. I wanted it to be a program where the kids that couldn't play that well could learn how to play. So there's different levels to our program. I mean, we've had players that have gone on and gotten Division I scholarships and graduated. And then we have, our little 4 and 5 year olds running around that we're teaching how to play. So, we try to do what we can to make sure that there's room for everyone and there's a spot for everyone.
I always tell people there's more kids out there that's trying to learn how to play than kids that can actually play.
Absolutely. It's very easy to coach somebody that already has skills. But I have to say that the coaches that we have, the guys and the women that work with me, they're all about making everybody feel like they belong and also getting kids better. Like I said, my program in 30 years has not had an NBA or a WNBA player, but we have really, really, really good people that are in their 30s now, that are established, that have masters, that have degrees that they did not have to pay for because they went on scholarship. And that's really what it's about. To have those young people come, I call them young because they're younger than me, but to have them come back, and now you see them with their children and they're trying to get their kids in farm league. That's really where I say, those are my trophies. Those are my trophies. So I guess it's what what you're looking for out of this. But, I love winning championships. Anybody that's seen me coach knows I do not like to lose. And I love to win championships. But you know what? At the end of the day, those trophies you got to keep dusting. So, I definitely, I definitely like it better when the people come back.
Listen, people, they always say, "Yo, what happened to all your trophies?" I have one in the back here. I keep more of the plaques. I ain't got time to be cleaning all those trophies. Like for people who have like a few trophies, it's easy to dust and keep and maintain. And when you have a lot of trophies, it's hard to maintain. Right. So you put things in the closet and talk about them. That's it. That's it. So, what are some of the standards you have for your coaches that that they must abide by?
So I'm really not into the recruiting aspect of it. Like I feel that let's pick our team and let's stick with those 10 kids or 8 kids, and they know how I feel about. Don't let me find out you went to a game and after a game you asked the kid to come play with us. Because that's just not something that I feel that, anybody should be doing out there. And I get it, times have changed. But if you're truly a coach and you really care about the betterment of boys or girls basketball, and you're in it for the kids, as we hear that so many times, then you should be able to take the same 10 kids and work with them throughout the year and get them better, bring them to the games, and follow them through. Everybody, like I said, anybody can coach kids that can play.
Yep. Listen, when you can coach the kids who come to your school, that's just in your school, and you wait to see who comes to practice without going out and searching for the next big thing, and you coach those kids to greatness, no better feeling. No better feeling.
Absolutely.
I tell people all the time, and I'm going to keep saying it, we won a city championship in '86 with no all-city players or all-Americans. And we beat all-city players and all-Americans.
Yep.
So, listen, it's just about the work you put in and how well your team worked together. Because even Michael Jordan needed a team.
Absolutely. I think that's also one of the concepts, too, is the team concept. I think, today especially, you teach the kids how to be a team, your players. You teach your coaches how to be a team. And I think at this point, we have to start educating the parents on how to be a team. I think if you can get more of the parents to be a team and understand those concepts, you'll have a better team. Because I think a lot of it now is, somebody's going left, somebody's going right. Everybody has different goals. And it's hard to be successful if you have, 10 different goals on the team. There can only be one goal because you're supposed to be a team. So I think that, you know, there may have to be a little bit more education part on the parents as to, you know, what is that? What is a team?
Very true. Very true. What are the ages and other sports do you have under the PND Nation?
Oh, no. We are a one sport program.
I just need you to clarify that.
We stick to what we're good
basketball
at.
Has for a reason.
We stick to what we're good at. I tried cheerleading back in the day because the girls didn't want to do basketball. It just didn't work out. So we just do basketball. And we start at 4 years old. And we go all the way up through seniors in high school. So, you know, once you've played your last summer and you're ready to go to college, then, you know, we put you on the alum list.
Got you. So, can you give a shout out to some of the other coaches that you have in your program?
Sure. We have Tony Doolin, who is the head coach at ASA. Tony Menzies, which is Karen's brother, who's my JV coach at Mary Lewis. Tim Briscoe, I know y'all know that name because he played back in the day. Tim Briscoe has been with me for more than 20 years now. Him and his wife. His wife is my director. I have Dave Robinson, who we call him Coach Beeve, but Dave Robinson. George Brister. He also played my husband, Fabian Pinnock, who played at Springfield Gardens High School.
Okay. I would like to probably ask you, who did you play with? Because I had some Springfield Garden guys up here already, including Coach Norm Roberts, who went to Springfield back in the days. Yes.
Yep. Let me see. Who else I got? I got Rudy Shaw. Karen. Well, you met Karen. Karen does.
Yes.
Girls. Who else? I think that's it. Teron Whitfield. Teron is the assistant coach at Malloy High School. The freshman team.
Okay.
He actually played for us from when he was a little boy, and went to Malloy High School, played there, then went to Marist, and then came back and coached.
Salute. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
That's a success story right there.
So we've had a few players come back and coach. Shanae Freeman, who played, she was one of the girls that was my first graduating class out of Positive Direction. She played at Fairleigh Dickinson, and now she is down with Team Durant. She is
nice.
Yes, but she had come back to coach with us, and then she got married and moved down south. So now she coaches with Team Durant. So
well, let her know she got a Fairleigh Dickinson alum who got a show called Basketball Heads.
I'm gonna let her know. She might be watching. I don't know, but
yeah. That's cool. So did you go to like coaching camps? Did you were mentored by any coaches to get your game and craft tight?
So I work on my game every day, and I tell people that all the time. Like, you can never think that you are that good of a coach. Like, every day you have to learn. Of course, I talk hoops with my brother. My brother's the head coach at Christ the King High School. You know, he's done so much over there. I speak to him. My other coaches in my program, as Karen said, Dave Edwards was like my right hand at Mary Lewis Academy. I learned a lot from Dave, a lot. And I mean, throughout the years, I've gone to clinics and I've done webinars. I actually coached at 2 different colleges as well. I was the head coach at Westchester Community College for 1 season, and I was the head coach at Manhattan Community College for 3 seasons. Junior college just wasn't for me, but you do, as you go along, you meet a lot of people, and I'm not afraid to learn, you know. I've always kept very good assistant coaches as well. So I make sure my assistant coaches know more than me, so I look good.
Listen, if you don't have nobody next to you that's smarter than you, then look, what are you doing it for, right? Right.
Exactly.
That's right. So when I told you, when Karen made that gesture, I already knew that Positive Direction is an organization that is run well because that's how you want your organization to be ran.
Absolutely.
Definitely. So what role do Positive Direction play in the lives of young people you work with, besides basketball?
I guess what role don't we play? So we do a lot of mentoring, obviously. You know, you have to when you're in this business. We do make sure that if, you know, kids need us to go with them for visits for colleges, even as far as high school advisement. I mean, just because I coach at Mary Lewis, every girl does not have to go to Mary Lewis. Just because Teron's at Malloy, every boy doesn't have to go to Malloy. Just because my brother coaches at Christ the King, everybody doesn't have to go there. So we make sure that the kids know about all the high schools, public, Catholic, private, you know, and educate them and the parents. I am very fortunate. My organization has a very, very strong parent support. So I know a lot of organizations don't always have that, but we do. We've always had it. So our parents are very involved. And we just try to educate the parents and the kids on what decisions to make. And then once they're finished with college, it doesn't stop there. You know, we try to make sure that they can find jobs. You know, Teron actually works at the school that I work at. So, you know, we do try to help them out and get them jobs depending on what they're going to do.
Awesome, awesome. So what does your job, well, from what I hear from Karen, knowing that Positive Direction has one job. So, but being the executive director, all right, we're going to come back because the live is about to end, and I have a few more questions, and we're going to wrap it up. Okay?
Okay.
Definitely. So we was talking about what your job entails.
So my job at Positive Direction or my real job that I get paid for?
Okay. Well, what else do you do besides outside of that?
Oh, so I am a dean at St. Clair Catholic Academy. That's where I've been for 20 years. So that's my real job.
Salute to all the deans. Me too. For sure, Martin
That's
Flores.
what pays the bills. That's what pays the bills.
Yes. Good, good, good. Cool. So can you give some advice to the young people out there who don't see a future as a player, right, but still want to be part of the game? What advice would you give them?
I always tell, obviously, the young people that we need more young people involved, because what happens is the younger generation wants to see the youth, you know, come back and do what they do. So, as I said before, having Teron there, it's somebody that my son now can look up to and say, you know, this person's a lot closer to their age than mommy or daddy or, you know, the older adults that are in my program. And not that we're not, you know, we can't do a good job, but I just think that they can relate better to the next generation. So we need those young people to come back. And especially the young ladies. We definitely need to see more females in the basketball world. And my biggest advice to the females is not to get discouraged. Because I think too many of the females get discouraged because it is male dominant. But I mean, I survived 30 years being around you guys. So
that's right.
Me out.
Salute. Yeah.
So it's just, you know, they just have to stay positive and stay focused, because it can get done. It can get done.
Yeah, I made it a point to want to do all women this week. Like I said, I'm connected to a lot of guys, but after having that experience coaching those girls that Saturday at the Mo Kirby Day Memorial, man, it was an awesome experience. So I said, you know what? Not only that, I'm just going to try to get a wide range of females doing different things, but also connected to basketball.
And I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Definitely. It's not going to be the last time, trust me. That's right. So, now I put Karen to the test. Since you boss lady, I'm not going to do you like that, all right? I'm going to let you slide. Who are some of your favorite players that come out of New York City?
Favorite players to come out of New York City. So I'm going to go older. Of course, like Karen said, Dave Edwards. But I typed in Kenny Anderson. You got to love Kenny Anderson.
Yes.
Steph Marbury.
Uh-huh.
Tina Charles, Tiffany Prince, Shamiqua Holsclaw, Sue Bird. Come on, we got them.
That's right, New York City.
Right, Tim Briscoe.
Yeah.
My husband, Foots.
Foots in the building, make some noise. That's right.
But yeah, you know what? New York had good players, and New York still has good players. I know sometimes we are catching a bad rap that, oh, New York fell off and New York this and New York that. New York's never going to fall off. You know what? We have strong people, and we just have to come together and make sure we get it done. But we have a lot of, you know, talented young men and young women that are real good.
Doing a thing out here. I can't wait. I just pray that they let high school basketball play this year. It will be an awesome thing to see these kids finish up, you know, all the things that they started. We have some very good kids that's coming out of New York City this year. So I want to make sure that this class, you know, has a fair chance to show their worth.
Yeah.
You know, especially before going to the next level.
I saw you said you had Eric Hicks is your boy?
Eric Hicks.
Well, when Eric started, he came down to St. Clair's like 20 years ago.
Yeah? Tell me about it.
Yes. Game over. He started with that. That's what we used to wear. We used to wear I have the old Game Over uniforms. I wish I would have known, because I would have brought the picture. They were yellow, bright yellow uniforms, Game Over.
Right,
I'm gonna send you a picture when we get off.
Oh, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. He's been our official sponsor from the time he came on the show, and he just called me and asked me, you know, what can I help you do, man? And he's just been awesome ever since. So
he's a really good guy.
Yes,
absolutely.
One of the hardest working men out here.
Yes.
Yeah. So what can we expect for positive direction in the near future?
Same thing we've been doing, staying positive, moving in that direction, and just getting it done for more young ladies and young men, and making sure that, you know, we put basketball in its right perspective. I mean, I have little ones now because I waited to have children. So I have two 11-year-olds, they're twins, and I have an 8-year-old, and they all play. So we got to make sure that it keeps going the way we need to.
Well, because that was going to be my next question. Who are you passing it down to? And now, you know, you just gave me that answer.
They wanted to come on, too. Josie, Jen, come here. They wanted to come on. Come on.
They can come on, say hi. Hey. Wow.
Where's Fabe?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Look at that. And my guy Big Cass said you coached Ozzy, which is one of our coaches at our junior high school.
Oh, Ozzy. I'm trying.
What's his first name, Sean? What's his first name? We just know him as Ozzy. But yeah.
And that's my son.
Wow. All right. How you doing?
Good.
All right. Hey, listen, let me say something. Your mom is a legend, you know that?
Yes.
Yes, definitely. Well, look, good luck with all you guys, whatever you do. I know you guys will be good in school, good in sports. Good luck, whatever you guys do, okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Guys and girls, salute. Wow, this has been awesome. So, I want to thank you for being part of Basketball Heads and coming on the show.
Thank you.
Sharing your story. Now I'm definitely going to make sure, okay. Well, I thought you were going to put it down there. But refer all my Queens kids, because, you know, I work right there in Long Island, so I'm definitely going to refer to my kids to your program.
Well, thank you so much.
Keep doing what you're doing. And before you go, you got to nominate someone to be on the show.
Let's see.
You have a whole bunch of people who work for you, so.
I do. Oh, you mean somebody? You want somebody from Positive Direction?
No, well, whoever. I don't make that choice. It's, you know, the guest choice.
So my director, which is Tim's wife, Alethea Briscoe, just finished. She had breast cancer for the 3rd time.
Wow.
She beat it because that's my girl for over 20 years. And she's been an intricate part of the program. She's done all the academic components, and even throughout her 3 battles with cancer, which started in 2006, she never skipped a beat.
Wow. Salute, Ms. Briscoe.
Yeah, and she just, you know, she does all the non-basketball stuff for our program. And I don't know if too many people can understand that, but like, she's the person that's sitting in the corner with the kid who can't practice because they didn't do well in school. So, you know, she's the one going over the spelling words with the kids because they have a spelling test the next day. Checking report cards, collecting report cards, not just talking about it, but doing it. And, you know, my program wouldn't be the same without her. You know, besides being one of my bridesmaids, she's there, you know, that's my girl. So, I would have to say definitely if you want another female, she's definitely someone I would bring on, because she's non-basketball. I mean, she's all for basketball. Don't get me wrong. She is the loudest person in the gym. Anybody will tell you that. Okay. And the referees all know her, but, she really is somebody that every program needs because she does all the non-basketball things. She's not worried about the X's and O's. She's worried about the books, and she's worried about, you know, the person and the respect and all the things that a student athlete needs besides a jump shot.
Oh, we definitely need that for sure. So how about we do a twofer? We have Alethea and Tim on, right? This way we can talk education and basketball together. And that'll be my first couple on together.
There you go.
That'll be awesome.
Sounds great.
Well, my guy Sean said his name was Keith Young.
Oh,
Kevin Young. Yes, definitely. Well, I just want to make sure we get through this interview and we talk about all the things the questions I wrote down, and you answered even more. So thank you again. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you again for having me. Have a good night.
You too.
All right.